Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining here at Unapologetically Progressive. Today I'm going to bring you a story that I haven't wanted to cover. Mostly because it's just so disgusting that I can't believe it's happening in my own country here in the United States of America. Land of the free, home of the brave, right? That's where we're supposed to be. But Trump's on this kick of deporting people for no reason. He claims he's supporting people that are illegal or committed crimes here, that are gang members. But that's not what's happening. This is Kilmar Garcia. Kilmar is a family man, a father, husband, also has federal protected status. Partly because of why he's here, why he came to the United States in the first place. He's been in the United States for about 10 years. And in 2019, he was given protected status, federal protected immigration status. So the federal government could not deport him back to El Salvador. In El Salvador, he was getting hounded by the gangs. They were trying to force him to join. His life was at risk if he did not join the gangs or flee. And his father, in order to keep him from having to join that life, sent his son away, helped him get to the United States. Remember, land of the free. Well, on March 12th of this year, Donald Trump's thugs from the Border Patrol found Mr. Garcia, arrested him, and sent him to the Surcat mega prison in El Salvador, a prison full of gang members. It's one of the biggest prisons and most notorious prisons in the entire world, let alone our hemisphere. This man was not a gang member. He was arrested because he had tattoos. Because apparently the tattoo he had resembled tattoos that some gang members have. But it wasn't the same tattoo. He has never been arrested in the United States. He has done things the right way. He has followed the law. He's never been arrested for a crime. And they deported him anyway. Ripped him away from his family, his wife, his children. But good news. Yesterday, in a 9-0 ruling, literally everybody on the court, 9-0, ruled against Donald Trump and the Trump administration and said Kilmar must be returned to his family here in the United States. That they must find him in that prison and they must get him back to the United States. And of course, in disgusting response, the Donald Trump administration, of course, is saying they can't do that and they won't do that. In fact, they won't even tell you exactly where he is. It's almost as if the Trump administration arrested him and were deporting him to this maximum security prison down in El Salvador for absolutely no reason. And then they lost him. They don't seem to know where he is. Now, the Supreme Court ruled that they must facilitate the return of him, and they sent that down to the court that previously ruled that they needed to return Mr. Garcia. But you see, the government isn't doing that. So today they had another hearing where the judge said that they must, every day, by 5:30 Eastern, a person in the Trump administration with information that knows about this particular issue must report to the judge what they have done that day in order to facilitate the return of Kilmar Garcia. But it's absolutely disgusting that this is happening. Mr. Garcia here is just a family man. They had no evidence against him to say that he was a threat to this country at all. He's been an upstanding citizen since he's been here, and he was under protected status. He had not broken the law. And this is how it's going for a lot of people. Plainclothes agents keep going to schools, trying to talk to children, claiming they have permission from their parents to talk to these children from other countries. They're literally going into schools and churches and kidnapping people and deporting them. Just earlier this month, Trump officials arrested and deported a gay hairstylist to that prison who hadn't committed any crimes and was here legally. He was a legal resident at the time that he was arrested. This is absolutely disgusting, and I cannot believe it's going on in this country. I hope for the family's sake, and I hope for Mr. Garcia's sake, that he is returned promptly. Now, we all know that Trump administration is going to do everything they can to keep that from happening. And we know that. We know they're going to keep trying because they've already, they took this to the Supreme Court in the first place. But it's absolutely despicable that what they're doing. It's absolutely disgusting. It's un-American. But it's exactly what this country is turning into. And I can tell you right now, it is not going to end well if we keep allowing him to do this. Luckily, this time, the Supreme Court realized just how outrageous what he had done. But finally, they understood how outrageous this administration is being. When you get people like, Clarence Thomas to agree with the liberals, you've literally screwed up. Like, you have made the biggest mistake in the history of this country. Clarence Thomas is one of the most conservative judges to ever sit on our Supreme Court, whose goal is to ruin the lives of liberals. That's his goal. In most cases I see, he votes opposite of the liberals, almost every case. And in this case, you got Clarence Thomas, most conservative judge on the Supreme Court, to rule against a conservative president. Think about that. How big of a mistake, and how much more information do we not know about what happened that made that happen? Donald Trump is ruining this country, destroying everything that this country stands for. It's absolutely disgusting. Hopefully Mr. Garcia gets returned. And if you happen to be a family member or a friend of Mr. Garcia, I'm sorry about what happened. That it's so un-American. If you're his spouse, I'm absolutely just heartbroken for you. And I hope he gets returned. Anyways, I'll see you down the road.